What's up, Windwalkers, and welcome to my Mythic Sprocketmonger Lockenstock guide. Now, I know this is very late off the press, and I would have got this guide out ages ago if it wasn't for my progress takedown footage getting absolutely bricked. But hey, better late than never, right? So, for this fight, this is the gear that I ran. As the fight was severely nerfed, it probably isn't necessary to run Eye of Kazan anymore, and something like Sephorium or Mechanicore might be the better options. As well as this, I ran a two-hander, as it's my current highest item level weapon. Overall, this was the breakdown of my damage. As this is the only pure single target fight in the raid, you can see how much damage comes from Fists of Fury, Strike of the Windlord from our burst windows, and Spinning Crane Kick. Finally, talent. Now, there are a couple of options you can run on this fight. First off, I'd recommend not running Slicing Winds. Although it does decent single target damage, the riskiness of running this in the encounter outweighs the damage it outputs compared to other talents. Instead, I ran Dual Threat, which is a good alternative. However, there is an argument that Last Emperor's Capacitor is stronger, and to be honest, I'd be inclined to agree. The only thing you need to be aware of when taking this talent is timing. Make sure you expend your Crackling Jade Lightning at appropriate times during the fight. To take Last Emperor's Capacitor, I would drop Dual Threat. Alright, enough yap. Let's clap. Before we even start this boss fight, I want to point out in the top right corner of my screen, you'll see a Transcendence. This is crucial for the intermission. It's a 50-50 chance that you'll have to use it, but if you do get on the side that gets to use it, it's really important that you do, and have this placed down before the fight. It makes the intermission a lot easier for you to get back onto the boss as fast as possible. So, on pull, you get put into red or blue category, red on the right, blue on the left, and you're popping absolutely every cooldown here on pull. This is your single target opener, and you're absolutely going ham on the boss. Generally speaking, you're not going to have a mind pop mechanic here, and that's just because you're a melee. Usually this is just a healer one, so you can get as much damage on the boss. As well as this, once you've moved him, you want to send your second Storm Weapon Fire as early as possible, as you bloodlust on pull, as you're trying to take advantage, basically, of all the damage buffs you can, as this is going to be your biggest burst window of the entire fight.
Don't be crazy.
So, now that we're moving on to the second platform, I have a job to do here. I'm a Mind Popper. As you can see on the left-hand side of my screen, I've got a little image of which bomb I'm popping. Always pop Fortifying Brew here, as this will make sure that you take absolutely no damage on this. Generally, you will soak 2 bombs as a Windwalker monk on this fight, so you want to use Fortifying Brew for either one. Defensives are quite important to plan out on this fight, so as you can see in the middle of my screen, I'll get defensive messages all the time telling me when to press them, as they're properly coordinated and planned out. Other than this, you need to stay alert on the switching polarities. I would advise making sure you have a sound associated with it. I have an air horn for every time we switch polarities, as it's crucial to know when you're doing so, otherwise you're just going to wipe your entire group. So I go into blue side and our major cooldowns are coming up. Now our major cooldowns actually line up pretty awfully here with the magnet that sucks everybody in. However, you're still going to send them. The magnet isn't bad enough that you can't like run against it, so you send all your cooldowns and just go absolutely ham and make sure that you dodge as many rockets as you can. You really don't want to be getting hit by rockets here, as they can do a lot of damage. I do get hit by a rocket because I'm a dumb goober, but it doesn't hurt me that bad as it was during my Celestial Conduit cast.
Wheels moves the boss. Red on gate.
So you can see that we sent out all of our cooldowns and we're about to go into the intermission. So we're going to get a final switch here, and because I'm on blue side, I'm going to get use of my Transcendence. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. You do not want to press Transcendence when you're getting knocked through the air, as the knock will still continue to go off and you will get sent off the map. Don't ask me how I know that. Following this, you go straight into the intermission, and you can see our Transcendence there really quickly, and I'm instantly hitting the boss. Another thing to note with this intermission is that if you're ever on the side that is getting pulled into the other team, you need to make sure that you move up the conveyor belt to Whirling Dragon Punch. Otherwise, you're going to get flung into the entire other team and you're going to cause a wipe. You really want to Whirling Dragon Punch here, as it's too much value not to cast, but at the same time, you don't want to Whirling Dragon Punch too close to the other team and then kill everybody and wipe the group. So, now this is where the fight gets super easy for melee, and it is honestly about 30 seconds of absolutely doing nothing. It's kind of relaxing, it's kind of a time to just relax and just hit the boss. So now's a good time to talk about defensives. So I touch a Karma on pull, and then I touch a Karma pretty much every single time it comes up, as you're trying to use it as a DPS cooldown. Diffuse Magic I try to use for any of the switchover mechanics, as this is the best time to do it, as there's a lot of magic damage coming out. And as we've already discussed, Fortifying Brew. I use Fortifying Brew predominantly when I have a Mind Soak, as it means I'll take no damage. So, what you'll see now is my major cooldowns are coming back up, and I hold them. If I press them now, I would get a bit of damage out on the boss. However, there's a lot of movement incoming, which means I'd end up losing a ton of my burst. So what I do is I wait for the boss to get into its second position, where we're going to stay for a bit, and then I pop all my cooldowns.
Drill now.
As well as this, I have a bomb soak. So what do? Fortifying brew, pop the bomb, go straight back to the boss, and start smacking it again in my major cooldown window. So this is the only time during the boss fight that I hold cooldowns, but I highly advise you do it, as if you send at 3 minutes, you're kind of screwing yourself a little bit. So this is where the fight gets a little bit awkward. If you're on the blue side and your tank is red, like we have in this video, you have to all move to a certain position. We chose orange, so that the boss can be pulled without knocking your tank off the edge and ruining the pull. There will be a bit of damage loss here, but it's safer than sorry. Sometimes you get good RNG and it's not an issue. Sometimes you end up like me and you have to move to the side. Right of way, innit? Okay, so now we're getting to one of the hardest overlaps in the entire fight, and I actually saved a fuse magic now for this overlap. The reason I do this is that the damage on this boss isn't as high as it used to be, and this overlap is absolutely terrifying. So diffuse magic just means that I'll take a bit less damage, and if I do accidentally go into a beam, I probably can survive it. So we're finally getting ready for the final intermission. So red will be getting knocked back, and blue will be taking the Warlock portal. Now what's really important for this boss fight is that you have the toy that allows you to spam click it so that you instantly take a Warlock portal. This is so crucial that you have, as trying to click this portal whilst getting knocked back is almost impossible. So as we get knocked back, I'll be spam clicking it, we all go up the pillar. And what I advise here is don't roll towards the boss. If you roll too far and hit the other group, you've wiped the group. It's better just to Tiger Slash yourself, and now is when you can send all your cooldowns again. This is the perfect time. It's during the intermission, not much is going on. All you've got to do is hold down W and do your big cooldown rotation. As the boss was severely nerfed, the fight length for this boss has gone down drastically, and you actually can easily outdamage the scary part of the fight, which is when the purple orbs come in that one-shot your entire group. This is probably how you're going to do the fight from this point on. As long as you have about 20 people alive at this point, the boss should die before you even get into the stage. So for the end of this fight, I'm basically planting my feet on the floor, and I'm not going to be doing anything other than hitting the boss. And honestly, this was a really good pull. And I thought for a second that I was going to be the top DPS and solo carried. But then some pesky warrior had to hit one final execute.
Oh no, I got beaten!
Our boss dies too quick, man.
Fuck Windwalkers, let's go.
Bro, you just ruined my kill vid. That was our warrior, by the way, with the really nice comment there at the end. Generally speaking, I think Sprocketmonger Lockenstock is probably the best boss in the entire raid. It's not a super long encounter anymore since the nerfs. It's mechanically difficult, it's a challenging fight, and there aren't too many gimmick mechanics or one-shots. Everyone has purpose, everybody will do mechanics during this fight, and it's a quintessential boss fight. It's basically a fight that you learn as you progress it, and you play it almost the exact same way every single time. The only difference will be depending on what polarity you get during the fight. This has been my Sprocketmonger Lockenstock guide. I hope it helps you get your first takedown, and I do apologize that it is so late out. Otherwise, good luck on this boss, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.